Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a calm, mundane even, conversation to help you relax and drift off to sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm drawing hearts.
You're drawing hearts?
That's a hard thing for my Bostonian tongue to wrap its mouth around.
I detected a little accent there.
I'm drawing hearts, but I think I almost said I'm drawing hats.
It sounded like that. Now, are you drawing or are you doodling hearts?
What's the difference?
Well, drawing would be like drawing a beautiful heart. Maybe
I never draw. I only doodle.
You only doodle. There you go.
Yeah, I learned to doodle. So I'm sure there's a class on learning to doodle, but I started doing that back in my radio days.
Oh, okay.
Because there were three of us on the mic, and it was a good place to put my energy when I wasn't speaking.
Sure.
Because I realized, for various reasons at that point in my life, that I wanted to talk a lot, and that it was probably only appropriate for me to talk a third of the time that I wanted to. But where to put all my other thoughts and energy and impulse to speak, well, I put them in my doodles. By the way, it's Amanda, and I'm giving you full permission to relax, drift off, and go on the ride with us.
Fantastic. And Amanda, you're wrapped in a blanket right now.
I wanted to be cozy tonight. I wanted a cool drink and a soft blanket around my body. I have succeeded in getting both.
What's your cool drink?
It is a Maison Perrier.
Oh, Maison Perrier.
I don't know when that name change happened, but anyways, it's a Perrier sparkling water in a can. It feels very bougie.
Sure.
And very... Do you remember when Perrier became a thing in the 80s?
I mean, I remember Perrier. I don't remember it becoming a thing in the 80s, but I do remember it.
I remember that there were yuppies. Remember yuppies? On some sitcom. And they were like, can we get you anything to drink? And the two... I don't remember what sitcom it was. And the two yuppies said together in unison, Perrier with a twist of lemon.
Ooh.
And that was the joke, that yuppies drink Perrier. And look at me, I'm a yuppie.
If you remember the name of that television show, feel free to send us a message with it. You know, it's funny, Amanda, I've been sort of updating all our episodes on the YouTube channel.
Not sort of, you have been.
I have been. And so I'm going through each episode and I'm adding a sort of tag off the top and, you know, don't forget to subscribe at the bottom type thing. And what I realized is we have 2 episodes called You've Got Mail. So I changed one. And I was like, I can't believe in our 400 episodes, we have 2 episodes called You've Got Mail.
And neither is about that movie.
No, neither.
I bet.
And I bet people who, there's a generation of people who don't even know that was a movie.
Or a thing.
Because
that was Messenger?
AOL?
AOL Messenger?
It had even a pling or something to it.
Yeah, it did. And it went, mail. You've got mail.
Right.
That was like the automated voice.
And that meant you've got an email, folks. That's how long ago they were doing that to inform
you. Did
you.
It mean, was it for an email or was it for the little... Remember there was a couple of years there where like Messenger was a big thing? Was it just on... It was before Facebook.
I thought it was, you've got an email. And they'd be like, you got mail.
I think you're right.
Because email stands for electronic mail.
Yes, it does. And I think you're right. That was the AOL thing when everybody had AOL mail. Because all the companies tried to hop on the email craze, if you can believe it. You young Gen Y and Gen Z and millennials. And
there was a time, folks... And this is for people who are younger, who might not realize this, where the
This episode, I see what's happening. We're just going to talk about how old we are.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it, as children say.
There was a time where the general population didn't know that the @ symbol was called the @ symbol, or
That's
that
true.
hashtag was the hashtag symbol.
But hang on, because you're going to get a lot of angry people.
Okay.
That symbol is not called a hashtag.
No, it's called a...
something else.
It's called a...
number sign, I don't know. Crooked number sign?
No, it's called something. It's
Well,
not called a hashtag?
That's not the name of that. That just became a thing when I think Instagram started.
Oh.
Yeah.
number sign? What is it officially called? I'll look it up.
It does have an official name, and that name is not hashtag. I know because I saw, I think, a BuzzFeed article on it. Remember when BuzzFeed articles were all the rage? I mean, they still are. But no, there wasn't a device that was around the MySpace years, and it predated Facebook. This I remember. It was before anybody really had Facebook, and it was a messenger type of device that would be the same as like Facebook, what Facebook Messenger has become. Maybe Facebook bought it, and it had its own little noises. I wasn't on it very long, but I was on it, I believe, in the summer of 2005 or maybe 2006. And
Okay.
I do remember various sketches, a sketch that I had to learn that was based on it.
So that symbol, Amanda, and I was going to say it. I'm kicking myself that I didn't say it. Is called the hash symbol.
Oh, it's just called hash?
Hash symbol.
Oh, so a hashtag. I guess that makes sense because you're tagging people, but a hashtag means you're tagging a, event or concept or whatever.
Right.
People have them for their weddings. We didn't do that.
What are some things that were popular that don't exist anymore? Like, for example, back in the day, everyone had a rotary phone.
I know. And that was the whole thing. And this is what's funny is because you and I did improv way back in the day, as we say, we would mime, like if we were doing a scene and we had to call somebody, we would mime either doing the press touch tone dial from a dial pad on a phone. Remember those?
Loved them.
Or, of course, the old rotary loop-de-loop, pulling the thingy to the number, the old school ones. But we also used to do in all of our object work in mime, pretending to roll down windows.
Oh, yes, I still do that.
And what cars have roll down windows other than like vintage old cars?
Roll down windows are the best windows.
Really?
I mean,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
I remember
They're a lot of work.
I remember doing some improv where I would put a VHS tape into a VCR or a beta machine and press it down for it to go down.
You had to press it down. Remember, you'd make the mixtape and you'd just listen to the radio and wait for the beginning of like the song. You really wanted to catch it at the beginning of the song to hit record, but you kind of didn't want the radio announcing. There's a name for the way the radio announcers used to talk into the intro of the song, but not so far in that they would
cover the first line.
The vocals. Yeah.
I was talking to recently, we heard a song and I was like, I had that on a mixtape and it followed another song, and hearing that song made me remember the other song. It's really funny.
Yeah, cassette tapes, right?
Remember when if you had the double cassette tapes where like you had a stereo system which had two, so you could record off one onto the other?
That's how you pirated your tapes.
That was like magic. I remember getting one and being so thrilled about it.
And CD burners, that was a big thing.
Oh,
so you
CD
could
burn.
burn a CD with all your favorite songs that you would illegally get from Napster. That came later, of course.
Floppy disks.
Oh my God, floppy disks. I think I still have some.
Oh, I'm sure.
What? I mean, it's all antiquated stuff, right?
It's true.
Can you get any of that info off of them? I don't think so anymore. And here you thought you were saving it forever on the floppy disk.
Well, if you have an old school computer, you could put the floppy disk in, and I'm sure it would read it.
Who has that? Nobody has that.
I'm sure
Nobody
there's
has a floppy disk computer. Really?
I'm sure there's a connected device you could put into your computer, and it could access various formats.
So funny. The technology that we're just used to. Do you remember sending your first email?
I don't remember sending my first email, but I remember someone asking me if I had an email address, and at that point I didn't know what it was.
I remember there was a system in 1993, my first year of university, called the VAX system. And it was those old like DOS computers with the orange writing. And that connected you to anyone else who was on the VAX system at that time. So it was like early messenger, but you had to be on the university computers. and then you could message whoever was on the system and chat with them.
Wow. And would you know that person?
Sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't. But you'd be like, oh, Rob's on the VAX system. I'm going to send him a message. And then I'd be like, I'm chatting with him right now. Can you believe it? I remember that. And then my second year was when email happened. My second year of university was when email happened. And I do remember sending my first email, Eudora mail.
Oh, my goodness.
What my university had. And I actually sent it to, funnily enough, my friend Rob's friends, Catherine and Sonia. I sent them emails because I was like, hi, I'm Rob's friend, and I'm sitting next to him in the computer lab. And he said I could send you an email because he had their Queen's emails.
I see.
I wonder what happened to them.
So if you want to reach Amanda, you can email her at amandabarker@eudora.hashtag.com.
No.
Like whatever it was.
Eudora. I know it was long. It was a long email
My goodness.
address. Yeah. I remember my final year of university just finding theaters on the internet. That was new. And then emailing them and just reaching out and being like, I'd like to work for you. Didn't really work out, but I thought that was a good way to be an actor for a theater. Just randomly email, go to the button and email a theater. It's crazy when I think about it now.
I love it.
I know.
I remember a friend of ours sponsored a program at a theater. So your company can sponsor different.
This was I know what you're going to say. This was my show.
I know. So Amanda was in a show, and our friend graciously.
I wasn't the producer, but I was in it.
Sponsored a part of the program. And so it had her company name. And what had happened was she had sent the logo and the company name, and part of her, what do you call it, signature?
Her email signature had a
little
Buddha or Gandhi quote.
Teach a man to fish and he'll fish forever.
It was be the change.
No, it was fish. It
wasn't fish.
No, it was fish.
It was be the change you want to be.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And somehow her signature ended up in the program with her
I
company.
guess she said, here it is. So they just printed the whole thing, including her email sign-off quotation.
And I said, why would she put that? And I asked her, and she's like, that wasn't supposed to be in there. And it was a funny moment.
Sure, it was a really professional-looking program.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how you and I met. You wanted me to sponsor one of your programs.
I did.
One of your shows.
You can have all those apps to meet people, but the best way to meet a person is ask them to sponsor your show.
And then marry them. Many years later.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like 2004, 2005, I think, that you asked me to do that.
Mm-hmm. So I learned, I'm
Maybe
taking...
in 2003, actually.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking swimming lessons.
You are, yeah.
And I learned something about swimming that I didn't know previous to swimming.
Tell me, by the way, great segue.
Was it?
No. You just went, so.
It just came to me. And that is, if you want to swim, the more relaxed you are in the water, the easier it is to swim.
100%. And that's why you need to take swimming class, because otherwise you're not relaxed in the water. And floppy freak out people don't do so great.
No, they don't. And that was me. And now I'm the most relaxed in the swimming pool.
I love it.
And all my classmates, a lot of them are not relaxed, and I want to tell them, relax. But I also don't want to step on the teacher's toes and tell people to relax when I see them tensing.
Well, everyone has to learn when they're ready at their own time and at their own pace.
And I'll say this, when I get splashed water in the face, I forget to relax, Amanda.
And then what do you do?
Tense up and sink.
I know when you get excited when we snorkel and you see something that you really want to see, that's when you get really splashy. And of course, that's the counterintuitive part, because then whatever it is
cool fish
under the water life you've seen, they're probably going to flit away or shrink down or whatever that particular fish would do.
We saw calamari one time when we were swimming.
Yeah. I always associate calamari with the version that you eat, so it's funny.
Squid. We saw squid.
Some deep fried rings floating around.
We saw a school of squid.
Yeah, but wasn't it cuttlefish?
No, they were squid.
What's the difference between a cuttlefish and a squid?
It's a really good question. So squid, when you look at squid, it has a more torpedo-like body.
Okay.
So it's kind of longer and slender towards the tip of its, let's say, its head.
Okay.
Whereas a cuttlefish is more flat, squat, and a bit more chunky.
Oh.
Yeah, and the cuttlefish has a bigger cuttlefish bone in it versus the squid. It's the backbone. And the cuttlefish bone, if you have parakeet or canaries, you can buy them at the pet store. And canaries and parakeets and birds like that like to nibble on the
cuttlefish bone.
Yeah, cuttlefish bone. It's a white, pure white.
Really?
Yeah, pure white bone that's kind of soft. You can make an indentation with your finger in it.
That is a random fact that parakeets eat cuttlefish bones. How did you know that? Because you had birds.
I had canaries, and yeah, they love them.
I can't believe you guys had canaries.
Canaries are wonderful animals. They have a beautiful song.
You don't seem like bird people to me.
Well, we were.
And you guys never talk about them. That's why when you're like, oh yeah, we had birds. It's like I was part of this family for a long time, and then suddenly out of nowhere, you owned birds. I didn't know this.
Yeah, we had canary.
Just a canary or two?
We had, I think, 2 canaries. Like we had one canary and then another.
Whose idea was like, let's be bird people. Let's get canaries. Was it your mother's?
I want to say it was mine. I mean, I was a kid, Amanda. Like, this is hard. This is going way, way back before cell phones.
And email.
And email. We had a canary.
You Rotary dialed the canary pet store and said, give me some. Do you have some in stock? I'd like to come get them. I just think it's interesting because you guys don't talk about your birds very much.
I think we had 2. One was named Tootsie, and the other one, I can't remember its name.
Well, they left an impression. How long did you have these birds?
I don't know, like, let's say 5 years and 7 years, something like that.
I've never seen pictures of these birds. And you had a dog when you had these birds?
No, I mean, the second one we had a dog, yeah, but not the first.
Would the dog go crazy for the bird?
No, I think the dog was fine with the bird. Remember, I was more into fish, and so I had a lot of aquariums when I was little. I liked aquariums.
That's nice your parents let you have them.
Yeah.
I wanted pets, and we never allowed any of them until I was 13.
Oh, okay.
But all, like growing up, that's all I wanted was a puppy or a kitten.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, when we moved to Canada, my parents had sort of dangled the promise of being pet owners if we moved to Canada, I think, to entice us to move. And so we took that to heart, and they went away and I think left us with babysitters, but I don't know. They came back and we were like, well, you said, and then suddenly we had 3 cats.
Oh my goodness, 3.
Yeah, we kind of got them all at once. 2 were from my brother's first grade teacher.
Of course.
Or sorry, second grade teacher, I think, because I think he did first grade in the U.S. So my brother's second grade teacher, she had a barn, and so the barn cat had kittens.
Sure.
So we got 2 of those. And then at the exact same week, my sister's friend's family, their cat had kittens. So we got one of those. I mean, I don't know. I think they were all, like, they weren't just born that week. But
okay.
They were old enough that we could take them. But anyway, yeah. So then suddenly she got one from her. I had nothing to do with any of this. And then my 7-year-old brother somehow with my sister, I think my sister went to get him at the school. I think she could drive. So she drove to the school and was like, we're coming for the kittens.
Why wouldn't they just get 1? Why did they get 2?
I don't know.
Because that seems odd.
I think because there's 3 of us. So the idea was we decided amongst ourselves.
But your parents weren't there to make this decision?
No, we were like party of 5, but we were party of 3. We're like, well, there's 3 of us. We each get our own kitten. So.
And when Amanda references Party of 5, that was a television show back in the day for anyone who's like, what does that even mean?
And Party of 5 was the first show I ever binged watched.
Oh, wow.
Because, this is all full circle, back in the VHS days, I had a friend, Marcy Boyer. I don't know where she is now, but she was a teacher in Korea, different school, but we had mutual friends and we met. We all became friends. So anyway, she had friends from where she was from, which is Portage La Prairie, Manitoba.
Of course.
And like you do, and her friend in Portage La Prairie recorded Party of 5 for her. So she had, at that point, 3, I think, full seasons of Party of Five. I think her friend recorded all the reruns in the summer.
Okay.
And then the new season. And so she had 2 seasons back to back and then recorded the next season as it went. Every week she would like hit the record button at
whatever time.
Thursday at 5 o'clock or or 9 o'clock or whenever it was on. And so we passed this around because English television wasn't easy to get when I was there. Now, of course it is, but back then it wasn't easy, right? So it was this hot property that she had these, pirated off the TV videos of Party of Five. And so we all passed it around. And it was the first thing any of us had ever binge watched, because that just wasn't even binge watching wasn't a term.
Sure.
You know who I first ever heard the term binge? And I maintain it's who made the term binge. Orange is the New Black. In the pilot of Orange is the New Black, she said, please don't watch Mad Men without me. You promised me we'd get together and just binge it together.
I don't know if that's the...
Okay. Well, that's the first time I ever heard the expression binging on a TV show, because primarily it was used for food intake, right? Or drinking.
So on Party of Five, Neve Campbell sort of got her big break. But prior to Party of Five, she was on a Canadian television show called Catwalk.
That's right.
Which I was an extra on for a party scene.
That's right.
Where I was at a club dancing.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, Lacey Chabert was a young girl on Party of Five.
I don't know who that is.
Well, if you watched Hallmark Christmas movies, you would, because that's what she has made her career doing.
Isn't she the one?
She was also in Mean Girls.
Didn't one of them have a ghost show? She was she could see ghosty
so that's Jennifer
stuff?
Love Hewitt.
Oh, that's right.
Also from Party of Five, and then she had a ghost show. And now I don't know what she's doing.
And
Scott Wolf,
who
played Bailey,
who's on a show with our friend called Doc.
That's right. He's now on Doc.
You'll
with
see
our friend Dale.
Dale Boyer, not related to that other
Marcy
boy.
Boyer, although maybe they are and they don't know each other.
So there. And then the other guy was on Lost.
Yeah, what was the other guy? Fox?
Scott Fox.
Is that his name?
Scott Fox, yeah. No, Scott Wolf and Scott Fox.
Matthew Fox.
There you go.
He was the oldest one.
And then that was it, right?
Because
that was the 5 of them.
It went, the actual Party of Five was Scott Fox, and then Neve Campbell, and then Scott Wolf. Oh, sorry, Matthew. Yeah, Scott Wolf was Neve Campbell's boyfriend on the show.
No, they were brother and sister.
Oh,
it's Party of Five.
No, Jennifer Love Hewitt was Scott Wolf's girlfriend.
But we're not making 5, Amanda.
Okay,
so there was
hang on.
Scott Fox.
Yes.
Neve Campbell.
Yes.
Scott Wolf.
Okay, it was Matthew Fox.
Matthew Fox. Wait, now I'm confused. Matthew Fox.
Yes.
Neve Campbell.
Yes.
Scott Wolf.
Okay.
The ghost girl.
Lacey Chabert.
And
there was a baby.
Oh, there was a baby.
So that's the Party of Five.
Okay.
But but the ghost girl, aka Jennifer Love Hewitt, was not a family member. She was the girlfriend of Bailey. Just for the record.
And what happened to the baby? What's the baby's name?
I can't remember. Oh my gosh, the baby of Party of Five.
The baby who's now 40.
I gotta look up who was the baby on Party of Five. This is important. Stand by.
All right, while Amanda does that. So Party of Five was this show. I barely watched it, but clearly I know a little bit about it. And Amanda was a big fan because she watched all the seasons. And Amanda's looking that up. I'm trying to think of the first show that I binge watched. And I remember setting the VCR to tape stuff. Mainly videos, if you can believe it. I'd tape videos and then watch music videos, which we called videos back in the day. What's the answer, Amanda?
Okay, the character name was Owen.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember all the character names. Bailey was Scott Wolf. That much I remember.
And I guess Matthew Fox was called Scott because
he was Charlie.
Okay,
that I remember.
Neve Campbell was called Scott because clearly we've got Scott on the brain.
I gotta look up all the Salinger kids, but a bunch of kids played that baby.
I see, okay.
Alexander and Zachary Anhart, Brandon and Taylor Porter, Andrew and Stephen Cavarno, and finally Jacob Smith, just all on his own.
Good for Jacob Smith.
I don't know who any of these people are. Did they go on to anything?
And they often use twins when you have young children so that you can swap them in and out because kids can only be on set for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's a lot of doubles. And that's why the Olsen twins became famous because they were on, not Party of Five, the other one, Everybody in the House or whatever
Full
it's called.
House.
Full House. And they played the same character, but they would swap them in. Or did they play twins?
No, they played the same character.
So they played the same character
Yeah.
and they would swap them in and out.
Okay, Matthew was Charlie. Scott was Bailey. Nev was Julia. Lacey was Claudia.
She's now in Hallmark films.
And then Jacob Smith was
the baby.
Owen.
Okay.
I mean, he was a baby for most of it. And then Jennifer Love Hewitt was Bailey's girlfriend, Sarah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to know about Party of Five, really. And did you watch every season, Amanda?
I think I did in the end, yeah. I mean, I watched those 3 pivotal seasons, and I remember we all laughed. Like, whenever one of us was watching it, there were so many dramatic things that happened on it, right? There was always some sort of drama.
Sure.
That while somebody was Party of Fiving, binge watching, we'd be like, wow, things are really heavy right now. Because it was so much heaviness, and we weren't used to binge watching something.
Did you watch Lost?
I never did. Did you?
No. Did you watch Catwalk?
I never did.
Did you watch The Ghost Show with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
My mother did.
Okay. And did you watch any of the Hallmark films with the other one?
I have, with Lacey Chabert,
There you go.
And she is good in Mean Girls, too.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. Thank you for walking down memory lane with us.
So you don't remember the first thing you binge watched? What's the first thing we binge watched? Sopranos? No, because you watched that in real time.
I binge watched like a couple of seasons and then I watched it in real time. I can't think.
What's the first thing you and I binge watched, I wonder?
I don't know.
Oh, I know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Shield.
The Shield, that's right. We did watch it. We did binge watch
on
The
a
Shield.
Cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
We rented, I think, The Shield.
I think so.
And watched it on our computer.
As one
in
does.
our little cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And so we binge watched The Shield. So there you go. That's our special love show.
Well, listen, feel free to binge our podcast on whatever app you listen. And if you feel up to it, give us a 5-star review and let your friends know. Until next time, we hope this episode took you down memory lane, but also made you fall asleep.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't know. My mouth was all garbled.
Good night.
Until next time, we hope you listen and sleep.